Hi, the topic today is how to be highly effective, and I'm focusing on innovation. Innovation is very, very critical. Innovation is very, very important in our life that sometimes we practice it and we do it, but we don't realize it. See, innovation is all about giving people, in fact, it is said, don't give people what they want. Rather, give people what they never believed that is possible. Give people what they dreamed, what they never dreamed that was possible. It's all about giving people what is new. Innovation is about giving us something new, even though nothing is new on earth. But in our own generation, there are certain things that are new, things that we didn't experience, things we didn't hear. So innovation is all about creativity, applying creativity to give us something new. It has to be new. It has to be something we thought wasn't possible. At the beginning, God demonstrated that He is the first innovator. He brought a lot of things that are new, in fact, He created everything. For instance, look at a seed. If you look at a seed, if you touch a seed, now if somebody is telling you that this seed will become a tree, you won't believe it. I repeat, if you look at a seed, would you ever see a tree there? No. This is the same way we innovate. This is the same way we create. You see, when innovation is about seeing beyond what other people see. Like if I'm looking at this chair, I am seeing something. Everybody's seeing this chair, but I'm seeing something beyond that. I might be seeing a man sitting on that chair. I might be seeing something behind that chair. I might be seeing a car inside that chair. These are what we call innovation, giving us something beyond what we thought was possible. You see great innovators like Steve Jobs. They gave us something that we thought wasn't possible. So God was the first person. In fact, God pioneered innovation because, for instance, He gave us seed. And when somebody saw that seed, the person saw, oh God, what you gave us is just a seed. But the person will not realize that God has given him something in an abundant way, in a way that is far beyond what they can comprehend. And this leads me to what St. Paul said, that glory be to God who has blessed us abundantly beyond, in fact, who has blessed us abundantly far and beyond what we can imagine, we can think, we can ask. You see, God has given us abundantly beyond what we can imagine. Beyond what we can use, beyond what we can, ask, think, and imagine. And that is creativity. That sentence alone explains what creativity is. So if you're giving people something that is available, that's not creativity. Creativity is giving people what they thought wasn't possible. Even dreamers are creative people, because when dreamers bring out a theory or a particular thing, everybody will believe that it wasn't possible. Everybody will say it's not possible. But along the line, they make it possible. So innovative people are leaders. So if you can innovate, you are a leader because you are seeing beyond your eyes. You are seeing with your heart, with your mind, rather than with your eyes. 99% of us, we see with our eyes. But innovators see with their mind. They see with their heart. Look at a sand now. If somebody gave you a sand, you just throw it away. But great people, when they saw sand, they saw glasses. They saw diamond, they saw gold, they saw all different types of things. So it's their capacity to see beyond what you're seeing. It's their capacity to see with your heart rather than with your sight. And that makes us visionaries. That makes us people who have vision. So if see, the innovation, determines if you're a leader. Innovation determines if you're a great person, if you're somebody that can really make things great. So innovation is very, very important. One moment. Let's see. The images are blurred. I don't know why they feel blurred. So innovation is about creativity. So can you create something beyond what you're seeing? Can you, when you look at something, can you see, beyond it? No. So the problem we have in this world is that we don't have a lot of innovators. And that makes us not to have a lot of leaders. And that makes us not to have a lot of visionaries. So because a visionary, an innovator is somebody that sees something beyond. Like individually we are talented uniquely. Everybody has a unique talent. And if you bring up a person, what you see is that physical personality. But you don't see other gifts the person possesses. You don't see, the car the person has in mind. You don't see, the chair the person had in mind. You don't see, great things. Like now, if somebody has seen, let's say, Steve Jobs when he was small, he wouldn't have believed that he had an iPhone in his hand. The same thing with Bill Gates. They were ordinary people. But beyond that, Bill Gates was having, a vision of computer on everybody's table. So innovative people are creative people. So we are inspiring our people to be creative, be innovative, because innovation is a birthright. Because if you're not innovating, you're not living a life. Look at what I stated here. Even King David stated it. That we've been wonderfully made. We've been greatly made. So the same thing St. Paul is saying. Because we've been blessed abundantly, far and beyond what we can imagine, ask or think. So when you see a human being, that human being is beyond that human being. Now, your capacity to exercise or to draw out this gift that was hidden inside of you makes you an innovator. Makes you to innovate. Makes you a leader. Makes you a visionary. Even a writer. Look at a writer will look at books and see, arts and see different things. Like people will put together words and they bring out a book which people thought wasn't possible. J.K. Rowling, people never thought she could bring out something in the fashion of what she did. So people thought it wasn't possible. But look at her today. She wrote a book that was widely sold. So creativity is broad and wide. It has nothing. It's not only about technology or science. It's also about arts. Some people are very imaginative. So if you're not imaginative, you are not innovating, and you're not a leader. You are not a visionary. So everybody is created with a gift. That gift is something that is much more important than the life itself. We are saying today a lot of people are dying from coronavirus. The problem is not that people are dying. It's not the tragedy. The tragedy is that you possess this life and you never used it. It's just like you had a car, you never rode it. You never. It wasn't. You didn't drive it. It's the same thing that human beings. A lot of human beings live their life, but they didn't bring out the talent inside of them. Because that talent is hidden. That talent is your innovative power. That makes you an innovator. But you're not using it. So it's not that people are dying. Death is a natural thing. It's part of life. Death will come. But the tragedy is not death. The tragedy is that you never express yourself. Inability to express yourself is very, very dangerous, and that is tragedy, and that one is what we call death. It's not the one we're seeing people dying today. No. What death means is your inability, or you didn't use your gift. Because God gave you the same power he possessed, a powerful mind to imagine, to create, and to innovate. So innovation is our birthright. Unfortunately, innovation is not easy to come by because of the environment. Our own generation are lucky, and we call ourselves a golden generation because we are able to express ourselves. Like I am expressing myself in the corners of my room. 20 years back, or 200 years, 30 years back, it wasn't possible. But today, it's possible for you to televise and broadcast your information wherever you are. That is creativity. That is innovation. And it has empowered us. Yet, you have some parts of the earth, some places, people are not, allowed to innovate. People are not allowed to be creative. And this very, very, disaster is what we're seeing in most communities, whereby maybe because of religion or tradition, we ban people from innovating. We stop people from being creative. I know some religion would not allow somebody to express themselves. So the time has come for us to keep religion aside and use our creative power and innovative power to do things, to make life better, to solve problems. Religion don't solve problems. And yet people are clinging to religion. Religion has nothing to do with God. Religion is because of self-interest, for when people have their self-benefit. When you see people preaching, 99% of time is for their self-benefit. Remember, God has said today, I have given you my spirit. No longer will one person be teaching another person. For today I have what I call a new covenant, whereby you will be my people and I will be your God. And no longer will people be teaching other people. So we today, we are clinging to religion. And religion is creating more harm, more disaster than what we anticipated. The wars we have today is because of religion. The killing we have today is because of religion. Because a lot of people are yet to free themselves from the bondage of religion. Religion has nothing to do with God, unfortunately, because God never formed any religion. And religion doesn't solve a man's problem. Rather, it creates more problem. Religion tells you to hate. Religion tells you to differentiate. Religion tells you, I'm a born again, this person is not a born again. This one is a Christian, this one is not a Christian. This one is a Protestant, this one is not a Protestant. These are bundles of problems the religion is creating. And yet, we are giving credence to religion, unfortunately. But if you begin to understand what I'm saying, religion is kind of, blocking you from exercising your innovative spirit. God has given you the Holy Spirit. That Holy Spirit is that creative power you possess. And whereby you are not exercising this freedom, you are not exercising this power, then you are not functioning. You are not living, even though you are alive. So that is why today we have to keep religion where it belongs. It belongs to the dustbin, unfortunately, because it has nothing to do with God. But most of us believe that religion has something to do with God. It has nothing. It is a way of controlling people. It is a way of enriching some set of people. It's a way of, tranquilizing people, making people docile and passive, making people not to think. So you have seen the product. You look at the history of the world today. The history of the world is littered with bad experience, memories of what happened in the past as a result of religion. I know when the Christians, especially the Catholics, were killing people during the time of Crusade, whereby they execute somebody if you don't believe in Catholic, or if you don't believe in Christianity or whatever. The Muslims are carrying out their own in different ways. So you can bear with me and see that religion is something that belongs to the past. It's not something a modern man should invest his attention to. So, and the religion is what is, emasculating us, not making us to have this freedom. Freedom to express ourselves, freedom to be creative, freedom to be innovative, freedom to solve our problems. Watch all the people who use religion, they don't solve their problems. Because religion is teaching you that God was coming to solve your own problem. Meanwhile, God has given you power. Religion is blocking you from accessing the innovative power inside of you. You are being misled every day by pastors and religious people telling you nonsense. But at the end of the day, you will find out that, look, these people are not telling the truth because of the lifestyle, because of the way behavior, because of the way they treat other people. So religion is one aspect that is blocking us from being creative. And then religion gave us a tradition. You saw the tradition with what happened to Nigeria in Kano, whereby Sanusi was removed. Lamido was just a creative person who wants to do things differently because he understood how things work. He was saying that if you keep on doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result, you are an insane person. If you are believing in a tradition and the tradition is not being progressive, it's not helping you. What it's doing is, bringing you, it's drawing you back. It's making you to grind yourself backwards. That means it needs a change. And that's what the man was saying. And because of that, the angry people decided to dethrone him. But at their own peril, at their own loss. He has delivered his message. And his message is loud and clear that people should learn how to be innovative, learn how to be creative. Because God himself, the first thing God is a God of creativity. So the same creative power God has given to you, he has given to himself. So why are we not creating? Why are we not innovating? Because we fill our mind and heart with religion and tradition and customs that are alien, that are not natural to human beings. And that has blocked us, that has put a blockage, a stop to our creative power. And watch everywhere where religion plays a major role, the people there are not creative, they are not innovative. Because it makes you to feel you don't possess power. It makes you to feel they don't have mind. You practice the same thing over and over, and then you don't worship God. Because if you worship God, you cannot kill another human being. One moment. If you want to know how if somebody is worshiping God, you will see it by his attitude and by his actions. If you are killing people, massacring people, bombing people, stabbing people, you are not worshiping God. If you are putting people in prison unjustly, you are not worshiping God. You are just worshiping yourself. It's self-interest. And that's why we're saying that religion has to go where it belongs. It belongs to the past, to the relics. Abandon it there and have a creative mind. Learn creativity. Learn innovation. So, back to what I'm saying. Creativity is about doing a different thing. Creativity is about doing that unique thing for which God has given you power. Creativity is about putting things in a combination, doing things in a different way, seeing things in a different perspective. Like what I'm saying now, unless you see the seed in a different perspective, you conclude that, look, the seed has no forest in it, the seed has no tree in it. But that's it. And if you are not creative, what fills your mind will be jealousy and anger and bitterness. If I'm creative, I don't have time to make wars. I don't have time to see the fault of other people. So every time, if you're seeing the fault of other people, no, you're not creative, because a creative person hasn't got the time. A creative person hasn't got the time to be critical of other people. You see, so you cannot see a creative person being maligned in any way in your presence or in the presence of people, or coming out to be talking about other people, because you are busy with what is coming out in your mind. Like myself, I am busy with thinking about what I'm going to say, how I'm going to present it, how I'm going to be creative, how I'm going to write my books. So I haven't got the time to hate. I haven't got the time to be jealous or envious of any person. Because already I understood that I have been blessed far beyond and abundantly, that I cannot, have to distract myself. You've been given far and beyond more gifts than you can imagine, that you can dream of. Let me leak this secret to you. I'm telling you today in this video that God has made you God. That is the summary of what I've been saying. I don't want to say it, but I'm forced to say it. God has made you God. Look, this is clearly the level of power you possess. Look at a person who is God, is grinding about, moaning about, whinging about. Is it not funny? Somebody God has made God is crying, moaning, being jealous and envious. That means you have no understanding of what you possess. You don't have clear idea who you are. If you understood who you are, you have no time to be envious. You have no time to be jealous. You have no time to be angry. For what? When you should be creating, you are wasting your precious time, mourning and whinging for nothing. You are being distracted. Whenever you are being distracted, so why must you focus on another person's gift? So whenever you are focusing on another person's gift, you are losing the fire. You are losing the energy. You are losing the momentum. So I see a lot of people, when they come to me, they tell me evil things and bad things about other people. I say, so you have this time to think about this. That means you don't understand you are God. You don't understand that inside of you, God has himself. Inside of you, God has given you everything. You see, whenever God gives you a gift, know that that gift is far beyond what you can imagine and dream. I repeat, whenever God has given you a gift, that gift is far and beyond what you can ever dreamed or what you thought was possible. So don't play with your gift, because in your gift, God has given himself to you. Though God has given you the dominion. So don't look at the gifts. I say it's tiny. The tinier your gift is, the more the more abundance you get. If you think 1 penny is, there was a time Warren Buffett somebody was interviewing him, and they were walking along the street, and Warren Buffett saw 21 pence. He picked it and said, "This pen, 1 pen, or so 1 cent." According to America, we live in America, 1 cent. That is $1 billion US. That's the way he sees it. So you might be looking at your gift as tiny, but that gift is far beyond what you can dream of or imagine. And because of stupidity and ignorance, you thought that gift was small, because physically it's small, but you don't know that that gift is the universe you already possess. So by the time you are mourning, you are wasting your time. By the time you are being angry or being envious or jealous of another person's work, you are practically wasting your time. That means you are full of ignorance. You don't know you possess the whole power in the universe, even though it looks small. Because when you start developing that little seed, it gives you a forest. It's not going to give you only tree, it gives you a forest. A tree gives you a forest. A seed goes and becomes a tree, and then that tree becomes a forest. So creativity is having the eye to see beyond what you're looking with the eyes. That's why eagle is eagle. Eagle is eagle because of vision. A rich person is a rich person because the person has vision. The person can see with beyond what the eyes can see. It is Solomon said that God created everybody equal because he gave them the same sight, the power to see, but all depends on how each person sees something. So your wealth is dependent on your sight. It's dependent on how you can use your eyes to see. Seeing means using your heart, using your mind to see something, rather than using your physical eye. The eyeball and looking at me like this. No, that's not seeing. Looking means you go beyond seeing. If you are seeing, everybody's seeing, but not everybody's looking. Some people are seeing me, but they're not looking at me. Looking means you have to look, delve into it with your heart and your subconscious. So that's the difference between a poor person and a rich. Everybody has the same sight. Like now, somebody can be looking at a tree, and then that tree is looking at, he's seen pepper there. Look at somebody who discovered the glasses we are using today. He was looking at the sand. I'm telling you, a lot of people came to this world and they were looking at sand, but they were not seeing glasses until this man came up with it. So creativity is about looking beyond what you can see. You look at somebody now, he read a sentence, and that sentence he read, he converts it into a book. And you see a wonderful book coming out from one sentence. Don't think that people who wrote book got a collection of words. It's only one word, one sentence they pick, and they saw that much more things from it. So we need to be creative. Creativity has to do with your mind. So you can be creative in science or in technology. You can be creative in arts. So it all depends on where your gift lies. So don't be ashamed of trying. Don't be ashamed of failure, because failure is part of creativity. A lot of people, when they face barrier or failure or challenge, what do they want? They turn back. Like now, if let's say you're going to a place now, and along the place, the road is blocked. What do? You return back to your house and start complaining that the place is blocked. Won't you find another route? If you're using the sat nav will immediately give you another direction. So the same thing is life. So if you are facing challenge or obstacle or anything because of a barrier on the way, you turn back. That means you have not dreamt of it before. You were not seeing. You were not looking, you're only seeing. You are not being creative. You are not like the eagle. Eagle is eagle because of vision. There's no nothing. It sees from 5,500, it sees from 5 miles. You could see, picture things from 5 miles. It's the same power you get. You have power of imagination. Albert Einstein is saying that it is not mathematics that gives you power. It is not by adding A plus B. It is your power to engage in imaginative thinking. If you're not imaginative, what changes the word imagination? Are we imaginative? Are we using our power of imagination? So creativity is highly important. Innovation is highly important because innovation gives you the power to evolve. It gives you the power to change. It gives you the power to solve your problems. So begin today to solve your problems by using your power of imagination. Thank you.